After becoming the world chess champion, one of the major collaborations of Grandmaster Gukesh was with CircleChess as he onboarded as their brand ambassador. A grand photo shoot and an event was organized in Chennai, and ChessBase India was a part of it. And not only did ChessBase India cover the event but also interacted with the key members of Circle Chess. And in this video, we are going to talk to Gaurav Kumar, who is the CEO and founder of Circle Chess, and we get to know how Circle Chess came into existence.
Gaurav, we are here in Chennai. We had a wonderful event, an eventful day with Gukesh and the Grandmaster coaches of Circle Chess. So before we come into how was the experience of today, if you can tell us that when and how did Circle Chess began?
Okay, thanks Aditya, thank you. Talking about the genesis of Circle Chess, I actually got exposed to the chess ecosystem sometime around 2018 actually. That's when I took my son for the first chess tournament, right? Back then I did not know we will get into this and then this will become our personal, professional, basically chess has now effectively become everything for us, right? So my son used to play chess in his school and then he won a few trophies. That motivated us to take him to offline tournaments. We started taking him to quite a few tournaments, and at some point in time, chess I use it quite often. Chess is a sport which is very easy to learn, but very complex to improve and master. Actually, right? So you talk to everybody, they will say, "I know how to play chess," but then nobody knows how to improve. We also effectively went through the same journey, and that's why I now understand why a lot of kids quit chess after a few years of spending time on it. We went through pretty much a similar journey where at some point in time things become stagnant, possibly because you don't know what exactly you should be working on, improving on. I, as a parent, went through the same journey, and that's when I thought, why not build a product which could be extremely structured and which could give a path of improvement to every single child who want to play chess and improve, actually. So that was the genesis. Talking about the genesis, that's how I got into it, that how could there be a sport which is most easy to learn, you can learn in a couple of days, but you just cannot improve no matter what you do, right? So yeah, I mean, that's the genesis. Not everybody who plays chess, will improve at a pace that you expect, right? But it is actually disheartening to see where the child spends a lot of time dedicatedly since morning till night, and then he's so much into chess that he just want to do it 24/7. And that gives you to reason things out, right? That how could he not improve when he's spending so much time, because they just wander aimlessly at some point in time unless you are with the right coach who is actually helping, guiding, mentoring you in your journey. It is not so very accessible that what is the right process to learn chess fundamentally, right? And I keep hearing this from a lot of parents, because see, before Circle Chess founder, I'm actually a chess parent turned to a chess player, because I started playing since I took them to tournaments and so on. So I was like ideal customer for what I was building, what I thought of building, because I wanted everybody who spends time in a dedicated manner on chess, I wanted everybody to improve. That was what was the main reason why I thought of building it. So my vision effectively is, if someone gets into chess, he should go a long way to improve and get much better at it.
Okay. So now coming to the team, like obviously Swati was on board quite early. How did you manage to build the team around what you were thinking, and how did you share the vision?
Yes, I think that was the most challenging part, obviously. In fact, for startups, I think that is always the most challenging part, right? How you build a team. So see, I think the first thing was sorted for me, where one of the fundamental thing for a startup is understand your customer, right? In our case, we we were the customer, like, as a player, as a parent. So I was the customer, and I was always around customers, as in players, parents. So that was fundamentally sorted because we knew what are the real sort of challenges, especially for the early beginners to intermediate players. So once you know that this is what you're going to build, the next thing is like building a very solid team. For every startup, there is a next big challenge where even if you have an idea, how do you get the strong people to come together and work with you? We actually sailed our way through it. We got quite a few people who I had worked in the past in my previous companies. We shared a lot of similar thoughts and vision towards building something which can disrupt, let's say, a certain space and so on. Chess was like, ticking all the parameters. So I spoke to quite a few people who I had worked with. Obviously they were working at some companies, so we cannot afford everyone to join full time on day one. Neither financially that is feasible. So we found ways to basically engage in a partial capacity where like people would spend a few hours after office hours. So I got connected to 6 to 7 people who had worked in for a long time, and that's what actually took us to the first step, first milestone, where we built a first set of products and then make it accessible to the whole chess world, right? In fact, even before I started connecting with people to help me build this whole vision of CircleChess, I had first built the whole WhatsApp bot, right? The first version of WhatsApp bot was entirely built, by me in the initial phase, because you don't have a team, you don't have a developer, so you have to build it yourself, right? So and that's what excited a lot of people who started using the bot. Even if we had the first version of Kaisa, as we call it today, but it was not so polished, to be make it accessible to the entire world. So we kept on refining the product and features, but WhatsApp bot was the first thing that we wanted to put out. When we released the WhatsApp bot, people liked it, right? So as we started getting more and more traction, more and more users, the belief in the people who I was closely connected with, that actually strengthened, and then we gradually got more and more people to come and associate with us, actually. Yeah.
Okay, amazing. So yes, you found a pain point, you got a solution, and then you took the next step of into learning, into chess learning, coaching, and building a platform on that. Yes. So tell us the process, like how did you think that chess like coaching needs to be dealt in a much more professional way, like top coaches should be accessible to all the players. Yes. How did you approach these top players? Because I know, we know that there are many top institutes not in India, also in the world, who would love to like do anything to have these top grandmasters or coaches to be on their team or in their alumni or something. So how do you think? How did you take the route? If you can tell us.
Yeah, sure. See, I think I remember a quote which Vishnu sir says, right? So, if you dream, better dream big, right? Because that is actually genesis to how you approach a certain problem. So the bigger dreams you have, the bigger vision you have, all your decision translates to basically achieving towards that vision, right? So we obviously at CircleChess have a much bigger and grander vision to ensure that we are able to build the largest chess learners community. We want the whole world to play chess, right? So starting with kids who is 3 year old to, let's say, somebody who is 60, 65, 70 years old, we want everybody in the world to play chess and make it much more fun, exciting, not just to play but also learn, improve. So we are looking at personalizing and gamifying it to a level where it just become addiction in the positive sense for everybody, because chess as a sport is known to be a sport which actually helps a lot of people in a lot of ways, actually, right? So starting with the grander vision, you end up then thinking through and figuring out what could actually take you to the vision, right? That's how we started. And obviously when people who think similar, or people who are like-minded, who also have a equally bigger vision to build something extraordinarily big which could actually help the entire community. So we are always, I have always been a strong believer of the fact that great team builds great company, right? So I so much believe in the team being at the top most of every startup, right? So no idea succeed if you don't have the right team, right? So 90% of the problems you already have resolved once you are able to build a team which actually believes in the same vision and carry along with you until success, right? So given that we were always a bootstrapped company, we wanted to connect with all the people who have a long-term perspective of building something big. And in order to do that, you first need to have something which people can believe on, right? So you can't go on day zero and then say, look, this is what we plan to build, can you come on board, and then we can start building together. It doesn't work that way. So we took a lot of time. In fact, first 6 to 8 months was spent trying to build the first few set of products which we can take to people and sell our vision, right? Because you can't just sell vision in the air. So it's sometime in December 2023, which is probably 6-7 months after we had officially started CircleChess. We had a few of our products, which was the WhatsApp bot and pairing notifications, which was out. But then we had first version of almost all the products actually, right? WhatsApp bot was being used extensively by a lot of people even by then. So it is December 23 is when we connected to Ramesh sir to see if we can connect and share our vision, and then see if we can find a synergy to build a long-term chess company. So that's when we connected. We shared the whole product that we had built. We showed the whole demo, and then we also shared this is what we are looking to build in next few years and so on. So things went really well. He was actually pretty convinced with what we had done, considering we were just a 6 to 8 months old company. Honestly, whosoever we met at that time, people could not believe that we have done so much in 6 to 8 months actually, right? So that's when we found synergies, and Ramesh sir agreed to come on board to advise us, in this whole journey. And then I think in January, Bangalore GM Open was happening in Bangalore, and then I happened to be there for some event, and then we were, putting up a stall of CircleChess at the venue, and that's where I got connected to Prachura. Actually. And Prachura obviously is very well connected in the chess community, and we had a long chat there. Him also being a chess player and so well connected in chess ecosystem. We had a long conversation to find that we both think alike and we should meet again. We met again, and then he offered to come on board, and that's when he got associated with CircleChess to be in this journey for a long time. And then he also helped us connect with Vishnu, Akash, Srinath. We connected to Vishnu and Akash actually back then in January or February itself. And interestingly, they both also were looking to start a chess company, a chess startup which could actually benefit millions of aspiring chess players. Us being a tech house and them being a chess expertise house, we found great synergies, and that's when we got connected, and then we started working together, right? So that also worked well, and then we connected to Srinath, where the discussion also went really well. So in all these discussions, what actually has helped us is the kind of approach that we have taken to fill the current gaps or existing gaps in the chess tech ecosystem, right? So that actually helped, and that's how they all believed in our capability that we can actually build something really interesting and exciting for the chess world actually.
Amazing, like approaching them, making these top players and coaches impressed by your product is something, not something everybody can do in the first attempt. So that is commendable. Now, next coming, like one of your biggest like milestone was the association with American Gambits, like your logo or your product being displayed at the world stage. I think that was a great like addition to the things that you were doing. If you can tell us how did that happen, like the world, one of the world's best player Hikaru and the others with the team was wearing the jersey with the Circle Chess in their shirt.
So, so I think when you dream big, when you think big, and then when you aspire to chase your vision, things align actually somehow. So I think it so happened that things were happening right at the right time. So American Gambit team was actually announced they were the last team to actually join the Global Chess League, right? So a few teams were already there, and Prachura interestingly bid for that team, and then he owned that American Gambit team along with a few other founders, obviously, Ashwin and others. So we were having a conversation with Prachura on now that we have actually started to establish our presence in India, as a technology offering or as a chess tech company. How can we actually start also creating a international brand actually, right? So that was the first thought and genesis behind taking Circle Chess beyond Bangalore, beyond Karnataka, and then at a stage where Global Chess League, it was actually a privilege to even get that opportunity which Prachura offered, and then we had a discussion where how we can actually take this forward. So we kind of figured things out. We saw a great potential in our brand being visible at that top level, right? Even I think that was the first time we also came on TV where Circle Chess was on TV for like 10 to 12 days, the whole Global Chess League window. So it was really exciting and thrilling opportunity for us, where like we both found synergies, and all the American Gambit owners also agreed for that, and that's when we actually came on the front of all the jerseys of the players actually, yeah. And interestingly, even Ramesh sir was actually the head coach for American Gambit, and we were already like super thrilled to have players like Nakamura in American Gambit. So it was kind of a no-brainer decision for us, given that we want to build an international company from India. It was difficult in terms of how we could manage like some of the financials to like be at that scale, but yeah, I mean sometimes you just have to take calls and bet and then leave the rest.
You can choose not to answer this question, but how did that happen? How did Circle Chess became the title sponsor, almost the big sponsor of American Gambits? If you can tell us, like how easy or difficult it is monetarily to be there.
So it was actually I would say financially it was a very difficult decision for us. Without disclosing on our engagement and commercials, obviously as a startup, even if we do it at a very small scale, if you go ahead and sponsor an event in Bangalore, Karnataka, national events, or any event that is sponsored, for a startup which is actually bootstrapped, it is always a difficult decision, right? But then I think the opportunity was so big, right, where you just become a brand on day zero when people start associating Circle Chess as a brand, because you have people like Nakamura, Ramesh, the whole world, like Global Chess League has a big viewership, right? So we just did not want to miss that opportunity. So we thought that let's just make it happen. About funds, investments, sponsorship, it will never be easy, no matter at what scale we are. Like, at some scale you want to have a bigger sponsorship. So sponsorship is always a difficult decision when it comes to the amount that you spend versus now people compare in terms of eyeballs and so on. We don't look at it that way, honestly, right? So if you purely look at the eyeballs, traction, sponsorship, I don't think that is the right framework to look at it. We being a chess company, our brand logo, our presence there itself is a much bigger value that we get out of that whole association than, say, looking at the traffic, eyeballs, return, revenue. I think a lot of things has to be seen in a longer term perspective, right? So one thing leads to the other thing leads to the other, right? So us being present at that scale probably also convinced a lot of other bigger players, in the chess ecosystem to think and believe on CircleChess, right? So I don't personally look at events in isolation. I look at all of these dots being connected to each other, right? So we did something which got us to Global Chess League, which got us to probably more and more brand associations in future, right? So that's how it works. So yeah, I mean, everything cannot be mapped in terms of spends and ROI. That's how I see it, Aditya.
Yeah, like whenever we speak to investors, it's like whenever they go for an investment decision, it's always the ROI, it's always what are we going to get from it. And to like put your brand so high up and in such a vast scale takes a lot of courage, I would say. And within a few days, like within a couple of months, we saw another announcement that you had the opportunity to associate it with the current world champion Gukesh. So coming to that, if you can tell us, how did that happen?
Yes, yeah, I mean, that's, I would say, the most exciting thing that we have heard and done so far, honestly. So it just so happened, like you rightly pointed out, right, that with funds you get more capability to build your brand, expose your brand to the bigger audience and so on. Us not being at that level yet, where we were always a bootstrap company. Interestingly, when the candidate happened, right after the candidate, when Gukesh won, we all started dreaming actually that could we possibly have, let's say, the future world champion associate with us, right, where we could learn from his entire experience and see how we can build a chess product which could inspire the next billion people actually, right? So, and then having someone like Gukesh, where he has been one of the most balanced chess prodigies that I have come across, with all the talks, conversation that we all had come across. So we were discussing and dreaming, in fact, about it, that can we see the feasibility of him associating with CircleChess. And after the candidates, we started finding out ways to connect with him, and that's where we found a few common connects who were already associated with us. Like I mentioned, those names, like some of his close connect and people who have been associated with him for a long time. I think we all got together, found ways to get a discussion, and then explain our vision, figure out synergies. And it was the most interesting conversation, where he also believes in long-term chess growth actually, right? So somebody who again shared our vision on how we can build a next generation of chess products. So yeah, I mean, again, the same discussion on what is that which we have, what exactly we are going to build. Can we build a company which could potentially reach to 1 billion aspiring chess players and help them improve, right? So I think that vision was obviously something where we got aligned, and then we came on board. Yeah, I mean, that's how we started working together.
Amazing achievement, I must say. And obviously, we spent a full day today with Gukesh. If you can end our like the conversation with your experience of what you saw and what we did today with Gukesh.
Yeah, it was actually mesmerizing. It was truly unbelievable. Actually, the more we interact with him, the more we interact. In fact, I would name his dad as well, right? So, the more we interact with both of them, we got our next set of passion, motivation, that actually we have to do lot of work now as we go back to our daily life. So what we have done today in terms of not just the interaction and engagement, but that has actually fueled a big amount of motivation to not only to me but then the whole team, that we carry a lot of responsibility now to actually put our dreams to reality, right? So it was actually completely mesmerizing, and we are completely fueled with what we have to potentially do to ensure that over the next 1 year's time we are able to reach and even make his dream a reality, where like can we impact the lives of billions of chess players, right? So that is what is my takeaway from today's interaction and engagement. Yeah, I mean, and then the day was very, very fulfilling. It was, I would say, definitely one of the best days of my life so far. So undoubtedly, I think we are all 10x more pumped to make sure that we do in a bigger and better way.
Amazing. The way you and your wife and the entire team started with solving a problem. Now, as you grow in the world of chess, you are seeing newer problems and trying to find out how to tweak and improve that and help the billions that you are trying to help and solve the real life problems, and making chess more accessible, chess coaching more accessible. The vision that you have is amazing. And yes, now we have Gukesh on board. The future is looking bright, and we are already excited to see what CircleChess will be coming up with next in terms of product and also in terms of association. All the very best to you, and thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Aditya. Thank you for being there, and thanks for all your support. Actually, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.